Start the Facebook first. Select the right page. All right, we're going live. All right, everybody, welcome to another Wednesday LPTV webinar. We're going to give it just a few minutes for our webinar to populate, and for those also on Facebook that are joining us and on our other streams as well. So I see the number count is rising, Ashley, so we'll just give this a moment as people join today's webinar.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we were about a week from being together in person, and NAB kind of shut us down. So I understand. They had just too many big exhibitors, not able to come across the pond to be with us and hold out. So totally understandable.
I actually had a couple of trade shows canceled just before that too, Lee. So it seemed to be a trend.
Well, hopefully we can get this behind us and be back in April. All right. Looks like the number is starting to become steady, so I'll go ahead and get started. Hello, everybody. I'm Lee Miller, the Executive Director of the Advanced Television Broadcasting Alliance, the LPTV and OTT Industry Association. We'll welcome you guys to our webinar for October 6th, 2021. And we've got a fun guest today, and I want to introduce to you Mr. Ashley Garcie. And I want Ashley to give his welcome and to tell us about who he is and how he got to into this industry, into television. So take it away.
Thanks so much, Lee. And thank you guys for joining us. I got into television close to actually just a little over 30 years ago. Yes, I was barely a toddler at the time. But as I was mentioning to Lee before we started off, I was in accounting, and I got so frustrated with the profession that one day I literally just decided that there had to be a better life for me. And since I knew a couple of TV producers who were barely capable of multiplying and dividing in their head, I thought that that might be a place where I could have an advantage. So that was in September of 1989. And I launched my production company then. And a couple of weeks later, I had this crazy idea that I would do an RV television show. I didn't know anything about RVs, and I didn't know actually anything at all about TV. But I called a local TV station in Toronto, and Toronto, if you put that into the US DMA, would come in around number 3. And I asked them if they would take a TV show on RVing. And the programming gal, Cheryl Haney, I still remember her name, told me that she'd have to find out, and she was going to ask sales. So I learned the most valuable lesson that I ever learned in television, that programming decisions are made by sales.
Right. And you sell it.
Yeah. And she came back to me and said that, yeah, they'd be interested in it. And on January 5th of 1990, we went to air with a TV show called RV Vacation Adventures. It was a hit. The next year, they picked it up again. It turned into Distant Roads. And that TV show, Distant Roads, has almost 800 episodes to its name. It's been in production for 30 years and seen in 35 countries, 8 languages. And it founded the basis of a company I started that day that has 17 TV series and over 1,600 episodes. Everything from RVing to boating to cars to vacation homes to motorcycles. And a couple of years ago, I realized that all of my content seemed to be revolving and dependent on a road, getting from A to B. And I took all the content I had and structured it into a DigiNet and went to air on Coffee TV in April of 2019 with a network called Fun Roads. And we've grown. We've had our ups and downs since then, and stops and starts. But today we have cable clients like Cincinnati Bell and a few others. We've got some great clients in San Francisco, broadcast affiliates in Philadelphia and across the country. And we're growing rapidly. And the pandemic has demonstrated that RVing and road trips are the way to go. It's a throwback to the way we were kids with our parents in the station wagon. But now it's really the only safe way to go. And I don't know that anyone would be caught on a cruise ship or on an airplane or, God forbid, in an elevator in a resort. And we've done very well in terms of growing. We've got a lot of great affiliate partners, and for the most part, it's been a pretty good success story. We're hoping for greater things as this pandemic rolls out and people keep hitting the road, and eventually it will end. And we believe that people will enjoy road tripping, RVing, and that's why we think Fun Roads is a great opportunity for LP stations across the country.
For sure. As ATSC 3.0 comes about and LPTV have more space and need programming, this is a great opportunity. And you can't even hardly buy an RV right now. There's just there's a back order. There is here in Texas anyway. So definitely something that's high on everybody's radar.
Absolutely, Lee. I mean, you can't buy an RV, and renting a car is hard, but also on the other side, because of COVID, with all the restrictions on travel, the federal government, state governments are actually starting the flow of pandemic relief funds to attractions, destination marketing organizations, and states for distribution to local communities for spending on domestic and leisure travel. I was at a conference with the U.S. Travel Organization a few weeks ago, and the federal government is in the process of releasing $740 million to destination marketing organizations across the country. And these places like Scottsdale and Raleigh, Texas tourism, they're getting millions of dollars in order to promote travel within their community, within their state, and also to their state and community. So there's lots of great advertising opportunities because of what's going on. And in all candor, this is the greatest kind of vacation you can have.
Definitely so. Well, I think you've got some slides to share with us, and I guess give us the elevator pitch about Fun Roads. And just FYI, your programs in the past, we've had those on air on some of our networks. So,
and I think Lee, one of those was Distant Roads, the one that got this whole thing going.
Exactly, definitely so.
So let me give you a little bit of background here. We're really not like anything that's out there. Leisure road travel in the United States is almost $1 trillion a year industry. We're the first HD channel that really celebrates that kind of lifestyle. And the great thing about Fun Roads and road tripping and RVing, but certainly road tripping, it's not expensive. You can get in your car, throw stuff in the trunk, throw a fishing rod, a tackle box in the trunk, and you're gone for the day, you're gone for the weekend. It's inexpensive, it's fun, and studies show that kids and parents and families that do these kind of pioneering vacations, they tend to graduate more, the families stay together more, it is just a much more highly bonding experience than getting on a plane and going to a resort. So, you know, there really is no reason at all that you can't just get in the car and go for a few hours and come back. That's what Fun Roads is all about. You know, we're an advertiser supported channel. We've got on now almost 60 broadcast series and almost 6,500 programs. We're the only network that celebrates this. We've got 6 RV shows. You know, the great thing about what we're doing is that anyone can do it. There's been a fundamental shift in the way we all vacation. And you can see here, and I think Leo make this available to you, the Daily Mail reports that more cruise ships are being sold and sold off for scrap metal now than ever were before. And these are newer cruise ships. RV rentals are up 650% since last year. Road trips in smaller DMAs are up 250%. People are just hitting the road. And here are some basic numbers on kind of travelers that we have. They're all upper income. They all own many of them own their own homes. You can see that a $62,500 annual income, at least medium household income. And there are 1.7 billion domestic road trips. Granted, this was back in 2014, but today with that number, it's even higher. Domestic road trips touch $737 billion of the $950 billion annual domestic tourism industry. And that meets all social distancing guidelines. You know, we're a seamless new approach to doing this. We deliver family-friendly content. We're available on cable, satellite, over the air. We're streaming. We have lower costs. You can increase revenue. You can generate local advertising revenue, or you can work with us in getting that advertising revenue from, you know, RV dealers to a lesser degree, but certainly lodging, tourism, and attractions. These are all the backbones of your advertising dollar in your local community. We have multiple friendly programming blocks, whether it's back roads, classic cars, tailgating, culinary travel, you name it, we've got it. We've got more content on road tripping and RVing than anyone else combined. You know, we offer a significant deal. We go 2 minutes per half hour to affiliates, 36-month term. We'll supply an HLS, RTMP, IPTV feed. And I just lost that. So, you know, it's a great deal. We can talk about other types of deals, including revenue shares. And, you know, domestic drive tourism is growing at 5.5%. Like I said, $737 billion in 2018. And Lee, that's my elevator pitch.
Hey, well, that's definitely a great pitch, and definitely something that is a extremely quick growing industry here in the US in the RV industry. And you've really hit a very niche market that you were ready for and already fired up and spun up when COVID hit. So we've enjoyed featuring over the past year and a half those that have you know, taken this COVID thing and run with it. And I know Fun Roads has done a great job in that, in regards to a network. So you guys are running pretty much the same clock 24/7? Are you repeating you're repeating part of the clock, or?
We're running basically a 2-hour wheel for overnight and day part, and then we run a little bit more refined prime time schedule, and that really focuses in to deal with the time zone differences. But yeah, we're not repeating, we're not running the same shows every single day or anything like that.
Okay. Well, I know you're doing a lot of your own production. What about somebody out there that produces a program that might fit well in your network? Are you open to that?
I absolutely am, and we encourage that kind of submission to us. We especially encourage that from any affiliate stations that are doing programming in their own community. If it's something that works in your community, it might work nationwide. And we've already had a couple of affiliates provide us with content that we're broadcasting across the country.
All right. Do you have any satellite delivery, or is it all by the internet?
It's all IPTV right now. And, depending on what your playout looks like, we can provide you with a decoder. And again, that's part of the deal that we offer. But we don't do satellite. We just feel that it's too expensive and that there's too many hurdles to onboarding. IPTV works very well. And like I said, it's an HLS feed or an RTMP feed, whatever works best for you. Our play out at United Teleports in Miami is with Master Play. So if you got a Master play out at your station, that makes it even easier. You likely don't need any sort of a box that we can send you.
Great. Well, it's good to hear that you've got quite an operation going there. So do you have production of your own, but do you have production actually there based in California with you?
Yes, we do. We run it out of a wholly owned 5,000-foot building that we have in Agoura Hills here. And we've got two 4K edit suites, and we've got producers and some shooters. We go freelance mostly with shooters, and then a general office staff.
And I guess that brought up my next question. Is this available in HD?
It's completely HD.
Excellent. So many diginets are still in SD, and we left SD behind a while back, and it looks like the opportunity for us to be broadcasting more HD channels in the LPTV world is definitely a plus. Well, we have come to our time where we kind of open up things for questions from our audience, and it looks like somebody has said hello to you in the chat there. If you know Dan there, I don't know if you can see your chat there, Ashley.
Dan Calderon, how are you, Dan?
Yeah. So how's my Italian friend? He says. But anyway, if you've got a question, if you'll just go down to the bottom of your screen, or it could be at the top of your screen if you're on a phone, and hit that Q&A button, and let's see if we can stump Ashley with a question today. And also, if you're over on Facebook, and let me open up that so I have comments available, and might have feedback for a second. Let me make sure I don't. All right, got that to close. Good. So I've got the live chat open so we can see any questions that appear over there. Actually, sometimes we get more questions via Facebook. So, and it looks like we're having chats and questions pop up at this point in time. And let me find my mouse here on, as it told me I was struggling with multiple screens here, and find out where I'm at. All right, so David Ellington asked, do you pay or just barter? So what are your revenue share ideas there?
Well, it really depends on the market size and what we feel the possibilities are in the station coverage. So, we prefer to revenue share. We have been paying out at times, but it really is on a case-by-case basis. Obviously, the higher the market, the greater the coverage of the station, the more likely we are to work something else like that. So it doesn't necessarily need to be a barter, but on the other hand, we take it on a case-by-case basis.
All right, and Marge Johnson, from one of our other supporters here at the ATBA, from Titan TV, who actually sees probably every program in the world. And she says, we are happy to see the increasing number of stations broadcasting your network.
Thanks, Marge. That's terrific, Marge. Titan has been a great partner to us. I can't tell you how terrific they are in supporting us, and really have helped in scheduling and everything else. Shout out to Arlen, shout out to Marge, shout out to Heidi up there. They're terrific.
Definitely good folks there. And you've got a comment from KXMP TV8. Welcomes Fun Roads to Harrison, Arkansas and Branson, Missouri coming this week. Best from Mike and Patricia Kraft owners. And I tell you, that is a vacation market right there for the RV.
It really
world,
is. Correct? And we are thrilled, Mike and Pat, to be coming to you guys. that part of the Ozarks and Branson are just terrific. And shout out there to Tom Fabush for helping out, Tim Larson for helping out as well. We're excited to coming to Harrison and to Branson.
Now, you've got quite a following of RVers around the country as well as they're on the road.
Absolutely. And, you know, going back to what you were saying about 3.0, Lee, one of the reasons that Fun Roads has such a strong future is that once 3.0 gets rolling and you're able to pick up some of that wireless type of feed on 5G, you can see a scenario where people could be driving down the street. Obviously, the passenger can be watching Fun Roads and doing what, you know, is on Fun Roads while they're traveling at that very moment. It'll be one of the few networks that you can watch while you're doing it. So, you know, we're very excited about that.
Definitely so. We are excited about the mobile capabilities of ATSC 3.0. And hopefully that doesn't get any people in trouble trying to watch it on their dashboard as they do
No,
now.
we don't encourage that.
Not at all. All right, just a reminder that it's our question and answer time here on our Wednesday webinars. So if you've got a question for Ashley, throw that in the Q&A or the chat or over on Facebook. And let me go over there and make sure I'm not missing anybody over there. And don't see any. You may get off easy today, Ashley. You answered all the questions pretty much at the top of the top of this. So how many programs do you guys produce yourself?
Right now, we're producing somewhere in the neighborhood of 65 half hours a year, which is down for us, but we are actively pursuing acquisition of content. So we're bringing on content all the time. We're bringing on a new series called Chasing the Sun from the folks down at Panama City Beach in Florida, and Let's Go Camping, which is another RV show out of Indianapolis. So we're producing a fair amount of content, but we're also we're probably acquiring more than what we're producing right now, Lee.
Right. Takes a lot for a 7-day, 24-hour network. So it looks like something else has popped up in the chat, and Dan just wants to, it looks like he wants to get connected with you. So
Okay.
Sounds good there. So how would somebody get connected with you? There it is on the screen. Is that the best way to?
Yeah, I mean, there are my numbers and my email right there. You know, you can go to our website at funroads.tv. Our contact information is right there. My cell phone is right there. Please feel free to call. And we are thrilled to talk to you, find out about some opportunities, and see if we can't get something done together.
All right. Any other questions out there before I get to my announcements? And being there are none, I'm going to go ahead and take the screen over, Ashley, and throw my slides up there real quick to start getting us wrapped up. If you still have a question, definitely throw it our way. We'll go ahead and take it. But a little bit about the ATBA. There's our sponsors, and there is our sponsor of the ATBA and membership page. In regards to becoming a member, if you're not a member of the ATBA, we encourage you to do that and join. And there's our gold and platinum sponsors. We're up there on your screen. And be sure, and we would love to have you a part of the ATBA. We've got some exciting things that we've been working on even more funding and opportunities for LPTV across the nation, some things that we're working with ATSC, and that will bring the LPTV world more revenue. And that's one of our goals here at the ATBA, to help LPTV stations thrive, continue the mission of broadcasting and broadcast making money. Right, Ashley?
Absolutely. And once we get off this call, Lee, you can look for my membership application.
Excellent. So doesn't look like you've got any other questions to answer today. So you got off easy, and well, we appreciate you.
Maybe people just weren't interested, Lee.
No, You've got quite a few people that have joined the webinar today, so you did do a good job of answering questions, and we appreciate that. And we look forward to hearing more about Fun Roads and the things that you have in the future. So be sure and let us know when you've got something new going on,
I will.
and just drop us a news release. We love news, and we love to hear about what's going on with our LPTV friends, our equipment manufacturers that we hear from all the time, and what is happening in our industry. Be sure and let us know here. So Ashley, we're going to wrap it up for this week. I kept you under 30 minutes as I promised, and we'll look forward to seeing you on my television set in Lufkin, Texas soon, I'm sure.
You bet. Thanks, Lee. I
So
appreciate it.
for everybody out there, we'll see you next week on the ATBA Wednesday webinar. Thanks for joining us.